Good evening. You're watching the news tonight, your daily roundup of all that has happened across India and the world. I'm Ishan Russell and these are the headlines that we're tracking this evening. J&K Governor seeks clarity on government formation, writes to PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti and State BJP Chief. Delhi government indicates that it will extend the odd-even rule by a few more days. The High Court reserves its order on the scheme till the 11th of January. Animal rights activists cry foul as the centre lifts ban on the bullfighting sport of Jallikattu. Tamil Nadu CM thanks the Prime Minister for lifting the ban. And stock markets around the world recover as Chinese markets end a dismal week on a high note. Authorities withdraw circuit breaker to calm investors. The top story this evening. Jammu and Kashmir Governor N.N. Vora has written to PDP leader Mehbooba Mufti and the state BJP chief asking them to clear their position on government formation. This comes after speculation was rife that the state could be headed for a brief spell of governor's rule as Mehbooba Mufti expressed unwillingness to take oath as chief minister at least till Monday. That's when the traditional 4-day mourning period for Mufti Muhammad Saeed ends.
Mehbooba Mufti is all set to be the next Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, but the state will have to wait for its first woman CM at least till Monday. Sources say this is due to Mehbooba expressing unwillingness to take oath till then. Monday will mark the end of the 4-day mourning parade for her late father, Mufti Muhammad Saeed.
जहाँ तक महबूबा जी का बनने का सवाल है उसमें तो पीडीपी यूनानिमस है, कोई सेकंड थॉट है ही नहीं, क्योंकि पीडीपी को बनाने में जो महबूबा मुफ्ती का रोल रहा है, कंट्रीब्यूशन रहा है, हार्ड वर्क रही है, एफर्ट रही है, वो तो अनपैरेलल है इसमें, इसलिए उसमें दो राय है नहीं कि महबूबा जी हमारी तरफ से लीडर होगी.
As per the Jammu and Kashmir constitution, the Chief Minister's post cannot be kept vacant. So unless a new Chief Minister takes oath immediately, governor's rule is imposed in the state.
यहाँ कोई कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल क्राइसिस नहीं है, एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल टेक्निकलिटी है कि आमतौर पर एक दिन के अंदर हुकूमत बन जानी चाहिए, नहीं तो गवर्नर साहब को कानून कायदे के मुताबिक, कानूनी कायदे के मुताबिक, रस्म के मुताबिक उन्हें ये रिपोर्ट भारत देश के राष्ट्रपति को भेजनी है. गवर्नर रूल इज नॉट ए क्राइसिस, इट इज एन ऑल्टरनेटिव. इंटरिम पीरियड के लिए एक ऑल्टरनेटिव होता है.
Meanwhile, BJP lawmakers met to formally decide on the support to Mehbooba Mufti as the Chief Minister. Senior BJP leader and parties in charge for Jammu and Kashmir, Ram Madhav, chaired the meeting in Srinagar. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And let's go across to our correspondent Sham Sundar for more on this story. Sham, it's a technical crisis only, but this could really reveal the fault lines in the coalition as far as the BJP and the PDP are concerned.
Well, you are right, Ishan. It's a technical issue because according to rule, in one there should be a new chief minister, but because she is unwilling, Mehbooba Mufti, so the governor has to issue a notification till Monday. There will be president, and then Mehbooba Mufti will take over as chief minister, and both the parties have got communication from governor that they have to clear their stand on the issue of government formation. As far as alliance is concerned, I don't see any problem at this point of time because Kashmir is very, very important in BJP's scheme of things politically, and they have got a good chance to be part of the government, and they would not like to do any adventure at this point of time because Muhammad Mufti Saeed was a big and tall leader. But now when there will be a new, comparatively inexperienced chief minister, then there can be some discussion on the portfolios, on the departments which were held by the chief minister at that point of time. So I don't see any kind of problem in the alliance at this point of time. Of course, BJP would try to discuss some departments, some reshuffle in the ministries, and that will take place after Monday only.
All right, so we'll have to wait till Monday to figure out what happens in this. But Sham will keep a track of the story for us. Thanks so much for that for now, Sham. The Delhi High Court today reserved its order on the fate of the odd-even formula scheme for January 11th. This after the state government informed the court that pollution levels across the national capital showed a declining trend after the implementation of the scheme since the 1st of January. The Aam Aadmi Party government also said that the odd-even scheme trial might be extended.
The odd-even scheme to curb pollution in Delhi might be extended. The Delhi government informed the High Court on Friday that the 15-day trial period is not really sufficient to estimate the effect on pollution levels.
ऑड इवन के इम्पैक्ट को पूरे दुनिया ने महसूस किया है और दिल्ली भी इसको महसूस कर रहा है और हमें उम्मीद है कि 15 तारीख के बाद सारे जितने डेटाज हैं, आज कोर्ट में कई लोगों ने अतिरिक्त डेटा प्रस्तुत किए, उन लोगों के डेटा का भी हम अनुभव जो है हम लोग उसको एक्सपेरिमेंट करेंगे, उसको भी एग्जामिन करेंगे और सारे तथ्यों के आधार पर 15 तारीख के बाद सरकार आगे का फैसला लेगी.
The AAP government also informed the court that the level of the harmful particulate matter across Delhi has come down after the scheme was implemented on January 1st. However, petitioners argued that there is discrepancy in data provided by the government.
आज कोर्ट ने सारे पक्षों को सुना है. कोर्ट ने जो सवाल हमसे पूछे थे उन सारे सवालों का जवाब तथ्यात्मक तरीके से सरकार ने उनके सामने प्रस्तुत किया है.
Nobody is claiming that the pollution levels are going down, but surely there is a dip in the peak of the pollution if you compare it with 2014 and 15 with the 2016 first week. So therefore, we have put our case before the Honorable Delhi High Court, and the division bench of the Honorable High Court has now placed it for orders on Monday.
वकीलों का डिस्प्यूट ये है कि जो रियल टाइम डाटा जो सीपीसीबी या और अथॉरिटीज़ जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ अर्थ साइंसेज है जो उनका आया है उसमें PM 2.5 लेवल और PM 10 लेवल काफ़ी ज़्यादा बताए गए हैं, जबकि इसके अंदर क्योंकि ग्राफिकल मोड में यह डाटा पेश किया गया, रियल जो मेजरमेंट्स है वो नहीं सप्लाई की गई, इसलिए वकीलों ने बताया कि ये जो रिपोर्ट है ये भी मैनिपुलेटेड वन है.
The High Court will now decide the fate of the odd-even formula on January 11th. Earlier this week, the court had questioned the Delhi government decision to go ahead with the odd-even scheme for more than a week. The court also observed that the city's public transport is insufficient and is causing inconvenience to the people. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, extensive search operations continue for the third day in Gurdaspur after locals claim to have spotted two men who are suspected to be militants. An Israel-trained SWAT team has been deployed to flush out the suspects. Meanwhile, the operation to fully sanitize the Pathankot airbase, which was attacked by 6 terrorists last Saturday, is in its final phase. Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif chaired a second high-level meeting, asking officials to probe into leads provided by India.
The army, police and security officials are carrying out an extensive search operation near Pandher village in Gurdaspur after locals claim to have seen two men in army fatigues moving around in a suspicious manner. The two suspected militants were spotted near the army cantonment in Gurdaspur district. With fears of another attack, the security forces are not taking any chances and have deployed an Israel-trained SWAT team to flush out the militants.
इनके बारे में अभी कुछ पता नहीं लगा है, लेकिन हम चाहे वो इन्फॉर्मेशन गलत हो चाहे सही हो, हम उसको सही मान करके चल रहे हैं और प्रोफेशनल तरीके से उसको डील कर रहे हैं.
The operation to fully sanitize the Pathankot airbase has also entered its final phase, with personnel of NSG, Army and Garud commandos of IAF undertaking the task. The combing operation is aimed at ensuring that no terrorists are still hiding and there are no booby traps. The airbase, which was attacked by 6 terrorists last Saturday, also left 7 security personnel dead. United Jihad Council, an alliance of pro-Pakistan militant groups, had claimed responsibility for the assault.
The effective use of our air assets that was made possible by the deployment of 800 army troops in the technical area alone. These air assets were used to keep the area under surveillance to ensure early detection, isolation and subsequent engagement by own troops.
A day after India demanded prompt and decisive response from Pakistan, United States too pressed Pakistan to conduct a thorough, fair and transparent probe. The US State Department said it has asked the government of Pakistan to determine how long it will take to investigate the attack, following information provided by India. India has given leads that the attack was hatched in Pakistan.
उसमें पाकिस्तान से
लोग आए हैं और पाकिस्तान में जुड़े हुए हैं। इस तरह का जो हमारा NIA का DG साहब ने भी बताया और हमारा BSF का तरफ से भी जांच का रिपोर्ट आए हैं।
Fact that Pakistan supports terror as part of state policy is very well known in the entire global community.
The apparently well-planned assault on a strategic military target has cast a shadow over efforts to improve relations between India and Pakistan. Talks between foreign secretaries of two nations are due on 15th of January. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Just hours after the centre issued the notification on Jallikattu, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha has thanked the Prime Minister for his prompt response to her government's appeal. The state government had sought the centre's nod for conducting the bull taming sport. In a letter, she wrote that the sport upholds cultural values and traditions of Tamil Nadu and has great historical significance. She also said it ensures the conservation of native germplasm and the continuance of traditional breeds of indigenous cattle. Jallikattu is played in the state as part of Pongal festivities, but the centre's move has come in for a lot of criticism, with animal rights activists saying that lifting the protection is cruelty towards animals and is a black mark on the nation. PETA will now move the Supreme Court against the decision. The centre on Friday came out with a notification allowing the controversial sport in pole ban Tamil Nadu, given the extensive demand for its restoration by political parties in the state.
More than 2000 years old traditional play which was played by our Tamil youth in Tamil Nadu was, due to some reasons, it was facing some crisis in the past. Our Prime Minister has made all the arrangements to conduct the Jallikattu this year. For that, I thank our Honorable Prime Minister.
सरकार ने जो निर्णय लिया है, जिसके प्रति तमिलनाडु की संपूर्ण जनता और पूरे दक्षिण भारत के लोग बहुत खुश हैं और हर्ष मना रहे हैं और उत्सव के नाते इसको देख रहे हैं। मैं मानता हूं कि ये सही निर्णय सही वक्त पर सरकार ने लिया है और जिसके रहते हुए तमिलनाडु के एक खेल संस्कृति है और उसको लाभ मिला है, बल मिला है।
They have conducted for almost 6 years under regulations. They couldn't avoid deaths of animals as well as humans. I'm a citizen of India. I respect my culture and my culture is compassion. And if you are not promoting compassion, you are not culturally true. We're going to challenge it and we fight until the animals are given their rights again. But because of this notification in the coming few days, whatever deaths of humans and animals happen, it's the responsibility of ministry.
The probe panel appointed by the Delhi government to investigate alleged corruption in DDCA has been declared unconstitutional and illegal by the Union Home Ministry. The panel is headed by former Solicitor General Gopal Subramaniam. Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung wrote to the Delhi government on Friday, striking down the panel set up by the Aam Aadmi Party administration to probe irregularities in the city's cricket association. In a letter to the Delhi Chief Secretary, the Lieutenant Governor's office said the Union Home Ministry had held that commission of inquiry set up by the AAP government was illegal and unconstitutional. The rejection of the Delhi government's decision to probe the DDCA comes soon after a bitter fight between Arvind Kejriwal-led AAP government and the centre after a CBI raid on the Delhi Secretariat a month ago. The Delhi cabinet on December 21st decided to set up a commission of inquiry under Gopal Subramaniam to probe alleged irregularities in the DDCA.
आयोग का गठन दिल्ली सरकार ने अपने पूरे अधिकार क्षेत्र में रहकर किया है। केंद्र सरकार की ओपिनियन हो सकती है, उसकी ओपिनियन अगर दिल्ली सरकार की ओपिनियन से इत्तेफाक नहीं रखती तो उसको जाके कोर्ट में इसको क्वेश करने के लिए जाके अपील करनी चाहिए, लेकिन राज्य सरकार केंद्र सरकार की सबऑर्डिनेट नहीं है।
And Mr. Kejriwal should understand that he should take decisions for issues which are falling in the domain of Delhi government.
Time now to take a look at what else is making news around the country and nationwide. The Supreme Court on Friday ordered the central government to fill 3 posts of information officers at the Central Information Commission within the next 6 weeks. The court's order came in the course of a public interest litigation filed by RTI activists R.K. Jain and Subhash Chandra Agarwal. Banking operations were partially hit today as a section of public sector banks employees went on a strike across the country. The strike is to protest the violation of the bilateral settlement agreement by associate banks of SBI. Some of the services were affected in the banks where the presence of the association members is strong. Private sector banks and the country's largest lender, SBI, however, continue to function normally. The Communist Party of India will chalk out its strategy during the three-day National Council conclave that begins on Friday in Guntur in Andhra Pradesh. CPI General Secretary Suravaram Sudhakar Reddy said that the party will hold discussions with other left parties and probable electoral alliances. He said the CPI has decided to declare 2016 as the year of struggle against the NDA government's anti-people and anti-national policies. A suspected member of terrorist outfit Al-Qaeda has been arrested in Bengaluru. The alleged member of the terror group, identified as Maulana Azhar Shah, was arrested late on Wednesday night. According to sources, he was plotting to carry out a series of terror strikes in the country. Shah was brought to Delhi on transit remand and produced to the Patiala House Court on Friday. The Mumbai police have downgraded the security cover for 25 Bollywood celebrities, including Amir Khan and Shah Rukh Khan. Senior officials stressed that the move was needed to cut down on unwanted security cover. The two Khans were provided additional force in the wake of their comments on the subject of intolerance. Officials said an assessment review had pointed out that the actors no longer faced any threat. Time for us to take a quick break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Crisis in China's economy. Shares hit. The Chinese yuan is devalued, with fears of worse to come. What global impact will the crisis have? Watch the big picture at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television. Tales that inspire, stories of social change. A salute to diversity, promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries every Friday at 10:30 p.m., Saturday 12:30 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. The Chinese markets ended on a high note on Friday after a dismal week as regulators lifted the circuit breaker rule late on Thursday to ease trading. The authorities put a stop to the mechanism in a bid to calm panicky investors from selling after trade was suspended twice this week.
After a volatile week, Chinese markets swung widely in opening trade on Friday, with both the benchmark Shanghai Composite Index and the Shenzhen Composite Index rallying 2% higher than the previous session. But the optimism was dwindling in the trading session as the stocks quickly turned negative before the day's closed recording 2% gains. But the overall week was one of steep losses for the Chinese markets. The Shanghai Composite shed 10%, while the Shenzhen Composite plummeted 14.3% this week.
Well, I think in the short term, the market still faces selling pressure because the fundamentals have not changed. Chinese economic growth is slowing, and as evidenced by the slowing economic growth rate, and also there is a flight of capital from Asia, as witnessed by the fall in the renminbi exchange rate.
In an effort to ease the jitters in the market and extend stability, the Chinese regulators suspended the use of the new circuit breaker mechanism. Analysts say the measure that was meant to calm sentiment was only creating more panic selling. The central bank too firmed up the value of the yuan at 6.56 per dollar. China has pledged to make the value of the yuan more flexible and market-oriented.
But the fact that they've removed these circuit breakers is going to, again, obviously free up the aspect of people to manage their risk profile and hopefully effectively kind of flush things out of the system. Again, for other markets in the region, it's not a new thing, but these markets are a lot more institutionally inclined. they're a lot more established, and there's a lot more education in the markets as well in relation to how they work, and a lot more tools for them to manage risk.
China was the only country that didn't weaken its currency, whilst all other major competitors were weakening theirs. So I think now, with a very strong currency and an economy that is decelerating, it is only natural that the currency starts to come down as the central bank loosens policy. Anywhere else, exactly the same thing would be happening. I don't think it's a reason for panic.
The fall in Chinese markets and weakening of the yuan had also affected markets around the world. But the policy reversal resulted in Japan's Nikkei turning positive to 0.4% at 17,835.30. In London, the FTSE 100 was up 55.4 points. In Frankfurt, the DAX was up 1%. Beijing's decision to devalue the currency on Thursday had also sent oil prices to 12-year lows. The policy reversal stemmed a rebound in oil prices, but the crude oversupply is keeping investors on the edge. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
South Korea has resumed loudspeaker propaganda broadcasts into North Korea in response to Pyongyang's hydrogen bomb test. The sound from the speakers can carry for 10 kilometers into North Korea during the day and more than twice that at night. The move has led to the North beginning similar broadcasts. The North has previously threatened to use force to stop these broadcasts. South Korea's army and residents near the border are on alert in the face of a possible retaliation from the North. South Korean Parliament has also passed a resolution denouncing North Korea's fourth nuclear test and urging them to dismantle the nuclear program. Despite skepticism that the North has the capabilities to carry out such a test, Pyongyang's actions have been deeply criticized by world powers. The United Nations has agreed to draw up new measures against Pyongyang.
우리 군은 8일 낮 12시부터 북한의 4차 핵실험에 대한 상응하는 조치로 대북 확성기 방송을 전면 재개했습니다. 현재 우리 군은 대북 경계 태세를 강화한 가운데 북한의 움직임을 예의주시하고 있습니다. 북한이 추가 도발할 경우 우리 군은 단호하게 응징하여 혹독한 대가를 치르게 할 것입니다.
Time was some more international news now in Global Buzz. Two Middle Eastern refugees have been arrested on federal terrorism charges in the United States. They're the latest in a series of similar cases in the country's campaign against extremism. Neither man was, however, charged with plotting an attack on the United States. However, one man was charged with supporting the IS and both were charged with providing false information about their ties to international terrorist groups. Masked gunmen opened fire on a tourist bus full of Arab Israeli citizens at a hotel close to the Giza pyramids in Egypt. This occurred during a rally of the Muslim Brotherhood supporters today, but the tourists escaped unhurt. The attackers, a group of around 15 Brotherhood supporters, targeted the tourists as they entered the hotel. The Interior Ministry said in a statement that a suspect was arrested and the police are searching for the rest of the group. Medics working at refugee aid camps in the Balkans say they are seeing a spike in the number of migrants falling ill as freezing temperatures arrive. The medical charities say most patients are suffering with respiratory problems such as bronchitis and flu. Migrants are offered medical assistance, warm clothes and food at the main refugee points. However, there are concerns about people refusing or not seeking treatment. A major bushfire in Western Australia destroyed nearly 100 homes and left 3 people unaccounted for as it tore through a small rural town south of Perth. The bushfire, which had already razed huge swaths of land this week, ripped through Yarloop, which has a population of just 545. This bushfire is the latest in a series of fires that have razed parts of the country amid sustained hot dry weather. Time now for all the sports action in Sports Beat. Indian tennis ace Sania Mirza and her Swiss partner Martina Hingis continued their stupendous run by entering the final of the Brisbane International Tennis Tournament. Top seeds won the semi-final 6-3, 7-5. With the win, the pair's unbeaten run extended to 25 matches. Indian wildcard Ramkumar Ramanathan entered the quarter-final of the Chennai Open after a 3-6, 6-4, 6-4 victory over Russia's Alexander Kudryavtsev. This was the 21-year-old's first quarter-final in a major tournament. However, Leander Paes was forced to withdraw from the doubles quarter-final after his Spanish partner failed to recover from an illness in time. Suspended UEFA President Michel Platini has withdrawn his nomination from the FIFA presidential race next month. Platini, along with FIFA President Sepp Blatter, has been banned from football-related activities for 8 years after both are found guilty for disloyal payments. They're appealing against their bans, but the timing of the 26th February election means Platini cannot run. Well, that's news tonight. Good night.